Let's go look at NFL and some football, and this is the big portion of the show. Now, last week, we introduced a new partnership with Coach and Player Magazine, which you can find over at www.coachandplayer.com. We had columnist and analyst Chris Franklin on last week, and we kind of ran out of time. But that's not unusual for us to get into everything we wanted to. So we chatted earlier this evening with Chris again. We were talking exclusively NFC East, and what we want to do is bring that to you right now. All right, listen, we're thrilled to have Chris Franklin back with us this week again from Coach and Player Magazine. Thanks for being with us again, Chris.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. I wanted to get into a couple of things with you last week, which we really didn't have time for, which is why this is great. And actually, it's actually more appropriate this week because you've got a new piece coming out over on Coach and Player that's all about just the NFC East. And I believe it's titled something to the effect of Where's the Beast? And I think a lot of us, particularly people who are, fans like myself, I'm an Eagles fan, we've been wondering that ourselves. But here's where it's appropriate. We've got a big matchup, a big matchup between two 500 teams with the Dallas Cowboys this week coming into Philadelphia, who are also 3-3. And the outcome of this game is going to determine, for the moment at least, who might be the NFC East leader at this moment. What's your read on this game?
First of all, when's the last time we heard a 3-3 game being very big? I mean, it's a rarity now, but exactly, because right now, especially with the NFC East, it looks like the NFC is only going to get one team out of this division.
Absolutely. So
the winner is going to be 3-0 in the division. Whoever takes the lead here is going to have it be in a driver's seat for the rest of the season.
Is that exactly the way you see it, that whoever wins this game might in fact be in the driver's seat for the remainder of the entire season for the East?
I believe so, and I think it's even more important for the Cowboys because when you pair up the two schedules side by side, the Eagles, just because they finished in last place last season, the Eagles are going to have a way easier schedule than the Cowboys themselves. Mm-hmm. So it's imperative that the Cowboys, if they want to have a shot to take the division, that they win this week and eventually the last game of the season against the Eagles again in Dallas.
Nonetheless, though, both teams will play one more time. I mean, that could actually turn out to be more crucial than this one, really, when it comes right down to it, depending on how everything plays out over the next number of weeks.
Exactly, but also, if you leave that last game with the Cowboys, look at their history when it comes to quote-unquote NFC East championships. Mm-hmm. They haven't fared very well. Tony Romo comes up small in those instances as well. The Cowboys' defense seems to falter, so I think they want to go ahead and try to lock it up a little bit earlier than they have in the past and try to avoid December, crucial games in December if they can.
All right, just real quick, looking at this particular matchup this weekend, we've got Murray out on the Dallas Cowboys side. That seems to be a big factor. Over on the Eagles side, we don't have Vick again. We've got Nick Foles going in. We've had the quarterback controversy going on in Philadelphia here all week long again. How do you think this one's going to come out in the end of it?
Well, I think the most important thing is, especially when it comes to DeMarco Murray, the Cowboys' offense is definitely going to be pass happy, it seems like. Yep. When they don't have the threat of Murray running, you don't suck up the linebackers, you don't suck up the safeties a little bit more. Right. And then the Eagles can, in essence, plan for a more passing attack. I think the Eagles are going to win this one probably in the realm of 27-21. I think it's going to be a good old-fashioned offensive output. I think you'll see teams a lot of passing yards going on, but Eagles will come out on top in this affair.
Interesting, and that's in Chip Kelly's first season.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. While we're talking about this matchup and Chip Kelly, I've been a little critical of Chip Kelly's offense, and how long was it? Is it going to work before we start seeing injuries? We see Vick injured now. Yeah. Is this really going to work in the NFL with this Chip Kelly experiment, or is this flash in the pan?
I think it can work. Now, one thing we have seen is that everybody had the notion of when he's going to come in, it's just going to be the straight Oregon offense. And I think last week was a great example of how he can adapt. He took Nick Foles, who's not the most fleet of foot, even though that first series he did rush the ball in. He seemed to adapt more to I call Nick throws, more of the intermediate routes, more of the short pass as well too. And then once again they drew that defense in a little bit more, they started creeping in. You started to see that flag pattern and the fade routes to Deshaun Jackson. Next thing you know, touchdown as well too. He seems to have a great grasp of that offense. Mm-hmm. He's a leader. The guys still believe in him. Kelly was able to have the team install confidence in both Vick and Foles. So I don't think this team is going to miss a beat.
Of the two quarterbacks, who's the better quarterback for this Kelly offense?
I think if you're looking for a true Kelly offense, I think Vick's going to be the better guy for it. I think in the moment right now, what this team needs, I think Foles is the more steady, calmer. I mean, even when it comes to the red zone, just look at the fact that Foles is a little bit taller, doesn't have as many balls batted down back in his face. He knows where he wants to go before the passes happen. I think definitely Foles, as of right now, Foles is the better pick.
I agree. How about go ahead.
And I was going to follow. Now, with Foles playing as well as he's playing now, do we have a controversy in Philadelphia now between Vick and Foles?
I don't think there's a controversy per se. I think it's a great situation to be in. The fact that you have two quarterbacks. Look at what Houston's going with today. They have Schaub, T.J. Yates, now Case Keenum. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I want Case Keenum or T.J. Yates coming off the bench if I'm hurt. I think Nick Foles is a better quarterback than both of them, and I think that I think it's definitely going to work out for the Eagles.
All right, now let's get out of the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles for a moment. Let's take a look at the other two teams. What in the hell happened to both of them? You know, there was a lot of talk preseason from all of us here at the Frat House about the possible sophomore slump of RG3. Is that a slump, or is that just the fact he may have been rushed back from that injury way too soon? And what in the world? Is it all offensive line issues with the Giants? What's going on?
Well, I think when it comes to the Redskins, it's two-pronged. I think RG3, that preseason time missing preseason definitely did not help him. Yeah. I also think that Alfred Morris is having more of a sophomore slump than RG3 as well, too. RG3 is more injury-related. He's not, when it came to that read option, you had to respect both Alfred Morris and RG3. RG3's hurt. You can keep more on Morris. And I also think that his receivers are there, but he's not hitting them right. As for the Giants, I think that it's the message of Coughlin. I think everybody's starting to tune him out a little bit more. The rah-rah, hey, I'm getting in your face. I think that's weighing on him a little bit. I do think the injuries are playing a part in the Giants' problems right now. I think that Eli doesn't have confidence in that line. That's why he's rushing throws or throwing aside. So that's why I think the Giants are in trouble when it comes to that.
Two follow-ups to you on the Giants. Number one, Tom Coughlin's already come out right now and indicated he has absolutely, or at least it's not crossed his mind yet, to replace Eli Manning. Question to you on that one, is that the right move? But number two, how long does Tom Coughlin keep his job if this continues the way it is?
Well, first, to answer your first question, I think that you should not remove Eli Manning at all. He's going to be he's your face of your franchise. Right. He's going to be the franchise for the next probably 2 years as well, too. So I don't think that's a great idea to go ahead and pull him, especially if quarterbacks they're a confident breed. You yank him right now when he's in a slump, and then you decide to throw him back out there, he's going to start thinking a little bit more. As for Coughlin, I think if he doesn't get at least 2-3 wins down the stretch or show that his team is starting to come together with him, I think he's done in New York.
Does he get bounced before the season's over?
No, I think because of the 2 Super Bowls, I think they let him finish it out. But unfortunately, I think if he doesn't get better, I think he's gone.
All right. Chris, I got to tell you, great stuff we've got going here. And here's the indication. I had more on the list that I wanted to get to you with, and we're not going to have time. There's a good indication. Everybody, I encourage you to get out, check out Chris's latest piece on the NFC East over on Coach and Player magazine at coachandplayer.com. Chris, thanks very much for being with us. We're going to get you back in because I got to talk SEC with you.
That sounds great. Mike, Sidekick, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
You got it, man.
Have a good one, Chris.